of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Continue on this conversation with the messenger of Ahezaah. Brother Fakir was about to express a point or a statement.
Man, he's peace and blessing.
Man, he's peace and blessing as well.
We were talking, Lord Holy-Apostle, you was talking about, gave us a lesson. And someone in the folly of thinking that they're better than someone, even if they pretend to say it, even if they're saying it in jest. You know, a lot of times people say things like, I'm better than you, and think they're making a joke out of it. But even in that, they're taking Ahezaah for granted. They're presuming that Ahezaah is going to be forgiving. They're going to be laughing along with them, what the jokers say, where at the end of they're missing out on the lesson, being tricked. And the lesson that Ahezaah is the command and is due all praise and respect at all times. With everything that you say, with your every mindset,
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I somewhat resemble that remark. Because I talk about you and I joke about you a lot. Are you talking about me?
No, I'm not.
He could be talking about me
The lesson of the example of the messenger. The example of the messenger is to even know how to joke properly. You even know how to say something, That's something that you have to learn.
But you have some people that don't appreciate my joking and stuff. I had a young lady who told me one time, she said, and she was earnest, I mean, she wasn't earnest. Her name was something else. I laugh at my own jokes because they're not mine. But she said, you think you're funny. The people only laugh at you because you're a prophet. And I said, I think I'm funny. People only laugh at me because I'm a prophet. And she started laughing, couldn't stop. I said, what's wrong with you? Why are you laughing so hard? Because I'm not funny. So, it's a blessing that Ahezaah gives us something to laugh about. I'll be in a dead sleep, literally, and wake up laughing, can't stop laughing. My wife said, what's up? What's going on? Allah just told me a joke. She said, oh, okay. See, she's so used to it.
Oh,
just go back to sleep. But Allah can make you laugh so hard, you bust your innards, man. Ahezaah is the funniest thing that is. There's nothing. It is the creator of the comedians.
right.
And people don't recognize that for the most part, because they associate people with themselves and other things,
Even the statement you just made.
So you heard what I said about that association? In light of what we said, things need to be associated with Ahezaah, but not set up as equals to be worshipped or adored,
Yeah, Ahezaah gave you a song called "What Is a God?" And as we talk, this conversation is coming in. A God can be anything that you hold high, hold on the stand. God can be a vehicle on 204, whatever. And people, even like you said, even associate themselves equal to Lord. Like you said, as Satan was cast out, I want to send my throne, and they record in the Bible like the most. I want to be like you, even Nimrod. I'm gonna build up this tower so I can reach the Lord myself and being the king that I am and do these things. Allah smoked them. The language was transferred. Everybody spoke, but people continuously
don't have to say what you're saying. Say everything so people can understand what you're saying.
People, a king making himself
talking about Nimrod.
Nimrod making himself a king like him, because the real king is El, but I'm a king. I don't want to be.
He was saying, people, that Nimrod had got all his people together to build a tower to the sky so that he could go ahead and challenge the Lord Most High.
Right.
But before they can finish those towers, Allah cursed the people that was building it along with Nimrod and caused them to speak diversified languages as to where they could not even hear themselves. That's what he was saying, people, when he just cut off in this language that he speaks. Now go on.
Thank you. You know, and I figure he's much try to practice to slow down and to get the full.
Yeah, your mind be going before your. I remember a guy told us something about one of my brothers over here. Said that they put the cart before the donkey and said, "Giddy up." You remember that, brother?
Yes.
But go ahead.
But how we on a daily, constantly, express these things in our language of associations, but making ourselves a part of and not a creation of. Instead of we think we the creators of things. That's what
you had made a statement earlier in the program in the first half of it. You had said something about religion.
Right.
But see, when you say religion, do you know what you said? You said so many things. See, we recognize religion as a way of life.
Right.
That's anything that you do.
Right.
And when you said people in their religions, everybody who heard you thought of something different.
Right.
They thought of their own religion.
Right.
And the way they see it and understand it and relate to it and worshiping it and so forth. Mm-hmm. And they all different. Mm-hmm. So here we go again back to that language.
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm. It's so being, worshiping the Lord Most High and trying to be of His righteous path is a delicate practice, a delicate operation. We living in a time where men are purposefully destroying humanity.
Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers, judges, politicians, ministers of the so-called religions, priests, and destroying the people. Their practice, their art of deception, their service to the devil is to destroy the people. And we sit back and we look. We got athletes, star athletes, who come on the television set, commercials talking about taking certain vitamins and taking these products and doing these different things for your health. And then you look at them and so many of them, their children have so many problems from certain things that they may have took to enhance their athletic ability. Right. And then, and it's like people was in a maze, man, and we all caught up and don't know. We killing ourselves, then we trying to find a cure that's killing us even further. Or we got a cure that's preserving us like some kind of food. Food's supposed to rot in a week and it rots in 5 years.
Yeah.
And we're eating those foods. Yeah. We're eating those preservatives. Why? Because the ones who selling them and raising them and selling them, they want to make more money, so they putting some foreign object in them to make them stay.
Right.
So that they can sell them weeks later, months later, maybe years later.
Oh, yeah.
And we go and we open up the can or the jar or whatever, and we start consuming these things. Mm-hmm. Thinking that, this is a good vegetable. Well, what about the preservatives they got in there? Mm-hmm. This is a great hot dog. Hot dog? It was cold when you got it. You had to heat it up, didn't you? Mm-hmm. What's in it?
Yeah.
You understand? There's so many things, man, that we don't understand if we just follow the wisdom of the Lord El. Mm-hmm. If we just beg it to bless us with the understanding of its language and to follow that language word for word and to be obedient to its spirit and its command. We as a humanity, we as a generation, a species of humanity, of humankind, because there's been quite a few various species. People don't even realize. They're talking about we 6,000 years old. That's what they used to say.
Right.
We 6,000 years old, going by the history of those stories in the Bible, not realizing that we're maybe millions of years old, like other things that we find on the earth. Mm-hmm. And we have so many different generations of different species of us. If we would just follow the Lord's guidance we would be better as a human family. You know? Some of us don't even understand the nature of our being opposite to other races of people. There's an opposite to everything. And right within our races, we have an opposite. Just like we have female and male opposites of one another. You know, men are fools to think that they're stronger than their woman. They're wiser than their woman. They know more than their woman. You know, like it's all about them when it's really all about their woman. They don't understand. So many people are so misguided and they don't understand. Get a power to the Lord so things will be in order. If you get a power to the Lord, then your woman won't run over you. She won't be able to. Huh? If the woman give her power to the Lord, then her children won't run over her. They won't be able to. But as long as they want to keep that for themselves, the woman going to always outslick the man, the husband. Children going to always be rejecting the mother. You know, no matter what they do, that mother turn around and so much love, okay, I excuse you. I know you did wrong, but just stay here and don't tell nobody. So I don't want nothing to happen to you. Trying to preserve the devil. When they should be saying, get your behind up out of here, you know, and go suffer your own penalties. Don't bring that evil to this family. If they start that from the cradle, they won't have that a lot of problems they have. But because they're so foolish with their love that they won't give back to the Lord, they trying to keep it for themselves and possess it, they allow their children to grow up wrongfully. And guess what? Whatever you plant is going to grow. Huh? Like they said, you made that bed, you got to sleep in it now. You're not going to escape it. It's yours.
Common sense, many evil people. They call evil people. They had mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers that loved them or cared for them or spoiled them. And
let me tell you something. I thank Allah. I thank Ahezaah for my mother and the way that she was with me in certain terms. I was 13 years old. I got caught up in the world, in the ghetto, in the projects. I had adults out there telling me different things aside from what my parents was telling me. My parents was very so-called religious people, going to church Sunday, Wednesday, Fridays, and even on Saturdays in the summertime they had the summer worship and all that. Had us going to all kinds of things, believing that this was the way, surrendering to Allah. You know? And here I go by the time I'm 13. Actually, they started me when I was 10. I don't want to get too personal, but they had me doing things that I should never have been experiencing. At 10, people out in the world, whom my mother and father trusted me with, that purposely misguided me. By the time I was 16, my mother told me, it's too many grown folks in this house, get out. She said, somebody got to go, and it's not me or Dad. I said, whoa, I guess it's me. I went out and I never turned back. But when I got in trouble, I'm so thankful that they had gave me a good upbringing, because when I turned in fear about this death that was coming upon me in the street life, all I had to reach for was what they had taught me. And that saved my life. By the grace of the Lord, it saved me through them. And I look back at my mother and I say, you was the best mother. Because, see, I forced her hand to tell me to get out. I forced her hand. She couldn't take what I was putting on her no more. She had other children to raise. I was like a rotten apple. And she said, get out. Huh? And I went out there and I realized I had to be a man to survive. And I tell that story to my children all the time. Because I got a lot of children. And I tell them. But they got mothers. We like, don't worry about it. You know, he'll calm down. It's more than me calming down. I'm trying to get a message to them for real. I don't want to be the one that ruined their life because of so-called love. I want them to understand that they got to stand up and be men and women. They got to stand up and be independent. They got to go out there and fight for their own lives. They got to settle on those trials that the Lord is giving to them. That I can't be there. I'm not strong like I was when I was a young man. And I'm getting older and older and older, whiter and whiter and whiter, weaker and weaker and weaker every day. You understand? And I can't handle what I used to handle.
Right.
Definitely not for them.
Right.
So if I don't get them right on the path to life,
Right.
and put love where it's supposed to be, because sometimes love means kick they butt.
Right.
And they talking that timeout stuff. Society, the leaders of gender society have led us to destroy the family order.
That's right.
Have children taking their parents to court and all this madness and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because they have misguided the parents and made them not be good parents no more.
Exactly.
Huh? Because the few want to run the many.
Right.
And that's what's going on. And the few is no good. So we have a society that the Lord has come down from the throne of heaven to destroy. And they don't want to believe it. But they got snow in Florida now.
California.
They got two moons going up and all the time. The moon looking like two different moons.
Yeah.
Huh? We got hurricanes running up in Jersey, in New York. They're all on Hurricane Alley now.
Yeah.
The earth has been thrown out of its orbit and off its axis.
That's right.
We got hurricanes acting like tornadoes.
Yeah.
Huh? Nor'easters acting like hurricanes.
Uh-huh. And it's funny that you mentioned these things.
The mighty things of earth falling down because the earth had been shaken so hard. Bridges, mountains, everything, houses, everything, mudslides, everything, all around the earth. And they don't want to recognize.
I laugh because Allah mentions that in the Quran when it says, with his violent shakings. I said, oh, Allah.
It's talked about today.
It's wisdom.
And what did the religious men run out and say when Hurricane Katrina hit? This can't be, this not from the Lord. When the tsunami hit over in Sri Lanka and what have you, they said, is this the day of revelation? Nah, don't believe that, nah.
You know.
You better believe it.
And you know, Ahezaah is so merciful, you know. When I see things, events happen on television now, I quickly associate with prophecies instead of a regular event. Allah said this was going to happen. I connected with more prophetic things than anything else.
We in the moment.
And I'm like, wow, Allah, this is going to happen.
We in the moment.
It's happening, you know. And I think we were discussing before, prior to the show, how we talking about the snow in California, how all these things that never
occurred in our life. The first thing I noticed that when they had that tsunami back in 2004,
right.
How the moon had turned to the symbol that in the direction of the symbol that Allah had given us for the community I had.
That's right.
I said, whoa, look at this. And Allah said, when the moon is Mark Twain, that'll be a sign of the time.
That's
I said,
right.
wait a minute, the moon look like it's doing two different things. Tonight it's doing this. A few days later it's doing that. Sometimes it seems like it's so close that it's right over this earth. Then it seems so far away. It's like doing two things. This Mark Twain.
That's it.
Like what Allah said in the Holy Quran. And people the Muslims run around here want to associate what Allah saying in the Holy Quran with the heaven and after death.
Yeah.
Why would Allah talk to us about after this life? So much so.
Right.
Of course it indicated things that's going to happen to us after this life, but mostly what it talks about is what's going on in this life so that we can avoid those penalties of their life to come. But we, people, want to associate that with something away from us. Just like all the religious people talking about, well, we the chosen and they're not. Everybody chosen and nobody's not. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But we need to look at what's going on. It's a shame how Allah just rained down upon me. I'm just wet with information. It's wet with information, wet with knowledge that I can't get out because Ahezaah said, I'm not going to send you to get it out like that. I call on people to help you get it out. And if they don't help you, then their reward will be with me. Huh? So I'm not going to make you a beggar of people. You're my messenger. You're not going to get out there and beg the people to help you. Beg for their assistance. You give my message. And if one listens to you, you're successful. If none of them listen to you, you're successful. Just give my message. And those who fear me and respect me and honor me will come unto your aid under my command. So I sit back and I lament. I got all this stuff. Sent a pile of books like this to the Library of Congress a few weeks ago. Again. I said, look at all this information. But see, you know what Allah Ahezaah said to me? He said, fear not, don't want. It's mine. And nothing is lost from me. No matter what I give you. And I have to keep that in mind. All this belongs to Ahezaah, Allah. And if the people don't reach out to me to get it, then that's on them. Because I'm saved already. I've lived my life. I've died into Christ and been reborn again. And I am here trying to relate these things to the people, relate what I've experienced in life hereafter and so forth and so on, so that they will be alarmed, so that you all will be alarmed to get right. You know? And I even look at our community and see people suffering and falling down. And I said, look at them. Because they doubted my words. My words being Allah's, Ahezaah's words. They doubted them. They shunned them. They disrespected them. They dishonored them. They used them in deceit and hid from them. And then they wonder, what's wrong with me? You better know what's wrong with you. Ahezaah's out to get you. And it's going to get you. And you're not going to escape it. It ain't nobody so much favored, man. If you don't dive this world from the illusion, your attachment to the illusions in this world, and live in Allah like Christ and Muhammad and myself and others, you better stop saying that you favored. You better stop believing so much in your own illusions, calling me deluded and you deluded. To believe that you saved and you special. When you haven't gone through the fire, you haven't met Satan and defeated what the trials that it is put upon you.
Well, you were talking about baptism, and you just mentioned the baptism, and dealing the definition of baptism first is a purification by water and fire.
Well, let me just say this here. If baptism is what the Christians say it is, man, I get baptized a lot because I love taking baths and showers. I don't know if I love anything more than that in this life. Other than, just, on the normal thing of what we do is taking baths and showers. Love warm water and soap and what have you. Love it. Love it. More than sleeping. You know? Love it. So I guess I stay baptized. Huh? But we know that baptism by water and fire is and the other elements of our lives means something else. Water is representative of knowledge, experiences. Fire is representative of trials in that knowledge, in those experiences. Huh? When Allah said, if you don't have water, then baptize yourself in the earth, tayammum.
That's right.
You know, that's to kill certain bacteria and what have you is on you. You know, but there's a symbolism for that as well. You know, you're being taken by that which is settled. You know, there's something that has meaning for everything. Allah said in this day and time, the devil would rule for 42 months. 42 months, right. How many people in Christianity understand that those 42 months represents the number of 4 of death and the number of 2 being with the Lord? Right. In death, under the commands, under the allowances of the Lord, they would run. Not 42 months. Right. We don't know how long they're going to run. We know that in the way of death, with the Lord, because everything is with the Lord. That's right. They going to run. That means they're under the authority or allowance of the Lord to do the evil they're doing. Don't think that the devil got power. Allah is letting that devil do what it's doing. And it's giving you the opportunity to choose this way or that way. And most of the people in the world, but a very small percentage, is choosing the wrong way. And because so many people choosing the wrong way, they think they're right. Allah said, surely I will, there's things that is fair seeming to you that's not right. And they got so many people that's doing it. What's the criterion for being a Muslim today?
Some say jail.
You could so easily be a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu. You just got to apply.
Right.
That's not the way. That's not true. First of all, being a Muslim, you submitting to the Lord. Everything submits to the Lord. But when you say being a Muslim in the way of Islam, what are you doing? Are you surrendering to the Lord? Because surely if you forget the Lord, you cannot be those who are believers.
That's right.
How can you believe in something that you don't even remember? How can you believe in something you're not aware of? If you're not following the tenets, that which Allah has given to us as His directives, if you're not entrenched in that, how can you say you are of it? You can't stand aside from it and say, I'm of it.
Right.
I had a person say to me, why is it we must get with you to serve the Lord, to say that we right? I said, well, I'm the present messenger. How could you ignore the message
That's right.
of the authority and say that you with it? Okay, so you don't want to hear what it's saying today. You want to hear what it said yesterday? Okay, go ahead with yesterday.
Right.
But believe me, it's not going to approve of you ignoring it today.
Right.
Common sense. But common sense today, what's common today is no sense, no real reasoning.
Right.
And you think with the people, we just caught up. That's like being. We talk about hypnotism. We're hypnotized in the way of evil. That evil is fair seeming. That this is cool. It feels good. It's the best thing. It makes the most sense to us, per se. And one who's coming with truth, one who's coming with clear truth that's cutting from both sides, that opens us up, is causing us trouble. You're disrupting my evil. You're disrupting my life.
Here's the whole thing. It makes the most sense to you in evil because you lend yourself to that realm. That's the only reason it makes the most sense to you, because you're involved in that and you are allowing that sense of your sensory perceptive being to come in. That's your devil sense. The do of evil that's in you. You're allowing that to be. Like I said, the Lord Most High, that which is independent of everything, is allowing the devil to run rampant.
Right.
Rampageously throughout the world. Now, it is giving us directives from, we can go all the way back to Akhenaten, Imhotep. You understand? I can go even further than that to people that you have never heard of. But what good does that do if you can't follow the wisdom of right now? Because the Lord El is now as it has ever been.
But one of the things I think Brother Fakir, people in today's world, they like to live in the past. Anytime things go in this world, who they always show up?
They don't like to live in the past. They don't like to live in the past. They don't get fooled by that language. Nobody likes to live. Can you get into yesterday? Who likes to live in you can't get there. See, that's just a figure of speech. They like to live in ignorance and defiance of the authority of life. Therefore, they choose something aside from it to stake their claim, to build their foundation, to act like they have some power and authority and right or righteousness about themselves. But all they doing when you break it all the way down to his least denomination, it is ignoring the Lord El in the now. See, if you come to me and say, I surrender to Ahezaah, I do this, that, and the other, and you talking about an hour ago, you're not right. Are you surrendering right now?
Yeah. We're going to hold that. We hope you enjoy what you heard in the program. Right to us,
Of you want to do things right, to keep up with keeping your lives tight, tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly